top of the table.
You all must have had that one friend who covers up for the bad behavior of their romantic partner. Maybe your friend is married to an alcoholic but refuses to see how poor her relationship with her husband is. Instead, she keeps thinking she can fix her partner, or maybe by being nice and kind, she can change him. Or maybe you are someone who gave up his dream to leave the country for that perfect job because your parent had emotional meltdowns and you need to be there to ensure everything is fine. These are two examples of codependent relationships. One common theme that you would notice is that the person in question constantly pushes their needs aside for someone else. This is what a codependent relationship looks like. So, is codependent relationship only limited to our home or romantic relationships? Or can it be our professional relationships too? Hello, and a very warm welcome to yet another exciting topic on top of the table. My name is Sheetal Sharma, and joining me on this discussion is counseling psychologist Ishita Karmakar. Hi, Ishita.
Hi Sheetal. Codependent relationship is something that I have seen in a lot of people, and it is not just stick to romantic relationships or relationships with our parents or friends only, but it is also there in the professional field also, right? Because I have seen a lot of colleagues, maybe in my previous work setup, that how they were codependent on their seniors or the leaders, because just to follow their demands, or just to follow their commands and everything, they used to forget their self-worth. They used to be so underconfident with things and their own tasks and responsibilities. So this is there in professional relationships also. And talking about other relationships, apart from just romantic, this is there in friendships also. So I have personally seen a lot of friends who are very much codependent on another friend, wherein one friend is continuously trying to hold the great bond with the other person, because of which the person who is trying to be codependent forgets his or her own needs, his or her own comfort zone, his or her own boundaries, and lets the other person cross the boundaries. And there is that is the place where it becomes very visible. It becomes very visible to the other people who are seeing them, that how codependent the person is, how codependent the friends are, and how unhealthy it looks like.
But I think, we are using this term codependent a lot, but for a lot of people, they might not understand the term at all. So, could you please explain to our listeners what is a codependent relationship and how is it different, from an interdependent relationship?
Right. So, usually people interchangeably use these terms codependent and interdependent, but these two are very, very different from each other in terms of healthy and unhealthy. So, as we talked about codependent relationship, in this, the one person is very much dependent on other person. So basically, to please the other person, that particular person will go to, extend to please that person. That person will not even respect his or her own boundaries or needs or comfort zone. That person will just try to seek validation from the other person he or she is codependent on. So for example, if we talk about a codependent husband and wife, so for example, if the husband is very toxic, or the husband is alcoholic, so the wife will try to hide those bad behaviors of the husband, will try to hide the alcoholic behavior of the person from the rest of the society, will try to give validations or excuses as of why her husband does alcohol consumption and etc. Right. On the other hand, talking about interdependent relationship is totally positive. So both the partners are equally respectful towards each other. Both the partners equally respect each other's boundaries, and they don't cross each other's boundaries. They know that we both have to work together, and we are not here to demean anyone at all, so that the other person may lose self worth or confidence in themselves. Right. So interdependent relationship is very healthy and both the partners respect each other a lot, whereas in codependent relationship, the one who is dependent on the other partner loses his or her self-worth, self-respect also, and the other person for whom the partner is doing will not even realize and will act in a way that is not respectful at all.
True, Ishita. So, when we talk about interdependent relationship, we acknowledge that the other person is a separate, identity, and we respect the choices that they make, the opinions that they have. Whereas in a codependent relationship, you are constantly trying to, come to common ground, what you might call it.
True. So we have seen these things in a lot of movies and shows as well, in which it is very much romanticized to be in a codependent relationship, which is very wrong. Because in that the person loses his or her own identity when he or she is just making the other person his or her whole world and is not even just caring about his or her own boundaries. So these are some of the places where we have seen that codependent relationship has been very much romanticized or fantasized, in which people start believing that this is something very healthy and very romantic and is very good, whereas it is not.
Well, Ishita, you're right in saying that, we've heard it so many times that you complete my world, or things like, I can't live without you, or, all those things, and you are my world, and you are right that, all these terminologies that are passed on in, romantic films to us so casually are basically hinting towards a codependent relationship and not an interdependent one, which means that you are losing the sight of your own identity and your own personal choices somewhere. But tell me something, Ishita. How does a person know if you are in a codependent relationship? I mean, are there any signs which can tell you that?
Yeah, so there are a very, small signs which usually go unnoticed. So, talking about them, one can be, so a person feels like they need to save them from themselves. So, you feel like you need to save them from themselves. So, the other person needs to be, saved, as in that person needs to be cared about so much that that person's habits and all doesn't affect that person, and it's a constant need for a codependent person to just save his or her partner in every way possible. Next can be, you want to change who they are. So we know that everyone is not perfect and we cannot always get what we want. So in that case, either you need to accept the fact, or a codependent partner will what the a codependent partner will do is that person will try to change the other person according to his or her own needs, which is not possible. So there's this lack of acceptance of who the other person is. Then talking about taking time out for self-care makes you feel selfish. So if a person is codependent, then when he or she is trying to bring out some time in self-care activities, that person starts feeling very selfish as to, oh, how can I take time for myself, how can I do self-care, I'm so selfish and all, I should be looking after my partner. So all these things, then it is very difficult to explain how you are feeling about your relationship. So, in a codependent relationship, it becomes very difficult for the codependent partner to even explain that how he or she is feeling. Then comes, the person feels very anxious when you don't hear from them. So, in a codependent relationship, what happens is the one partner becomes very anxious and worried and tensed when, for a short period of time, also he is not able to hear from the other partner. That person may be having very much trouble while he or she is alone, right? Because he or she is so much codependent that he cannot even afford to stay alone for a little while. You routinely cancel plans to spend time with your partner. So you will keep on canceling other plans with other people just to spend time with your partner, and will even forget about your own space, your own me time, etc., because you just want to spend time with your partner. you feel like maybe you ask for too much. So even if you ask for something which is very necessary and which is very basic, so for example, if a partner asks his or her partner to give time to them, that is a very normal thing, but in a codependent relationship, if a partner asks also that please give time to me, that feels to her like he or she has asked for so much. He or she is being too demanding. So these are some of the signs, I think, which can be uh, seen or noticed in a codependent relationship. But as I said earlier, that these signs go very unnoticed because people feel that it is very normal to feel like this or behave like this, but it is actually not, because it is a sign that you are somewhere in a codependent relationship and it is not healthy.
True, Ishita. So well put. In fact, we had done a podcast on, fixing your partner in a relationship, and we realized during, that podcast and our conversation that codependency. There are reasons why you get into codependency as well. So, would you want to shed some light on that?
Yeah. So being a counseling psychologist, I have came across a lot of patients or clients who are having personality disorders, and one such personality disorder is dependent personality disorder, in which the person is extremely dependent on other person, and even the thought of separation from that particular person makes the patient so much anxious and worried and stressed that that person cannot even handle the thought of getting separated from the other person. And even when the relationship may be very much toxic, very very much unhealthy, a relationship wherein the person is losing himself or herself, it doesn't matter to that person at all, because he is very much dependent on the other person. So that's a dependent personality, we say. And as we know that personality develops from the childhood itself, and where in childhood, if a child has always been very much dependent on their parents or the caregivers, wherein the child cannot even do a small thing by himself or herself, is a start to starting point from where the person may engage in a codependent relationship in the future. There are a lot of children we have seen. I'm sure you also must have seen a lot of children who are very much dependent on their parents, and even their parents like it so much. They don't, let the child do something from themselves, and don't encourage the child to do something by themselves. For example, even when a child needs a glass of water, and the child is, uh, uh, like 5 6 years old, wherein he or she is very much able to take a glass of water by himself or herself, there also the parent won't let the child take a glass of water also by himself or herself, will always assist him or her to the washroom. So these are some of the starting points from where a person might become engaged in a codependent relationship, and then in further, in future, it becomes very difficult for that individual to become independent, or to even become worthy of doing anything. That person just feels that I always have to be dependent on someone, and slowly it becomes so unhealthy and toxic that the person starts losing herself and won't even realize that.
Absolutely correct, Ishita. And I feel low self esteem or self worth can also stem from being neglected as a child. And when I say neglected, I mean the child's emotional needs which are not being met, right? Now, this usually happens if the parent is emotionally absent. Now, a lot of parents might think that, we are always there around the child. How can we be emotionally absent? But the thing is that when you are not actively listening to the child, not actively engaging with the child, that is the point when you are being emotionally absent from the child's life. And this in turn sends that signal to the child wherein, he is made to feel that, my emotions or my feelings or what I'm thinking is not important at all, and thus leading the child to low self esteem or self worth, and in turn, kind of prepping the ground for a codependent relationship for this child to seek.
Absolutely, absolutely. As I said previously, also that it begins from the childhood itself. So, if a parent is, so there are downside to both the things. First is, uh, if the parents are extremely over engaging, over protective, over supportive of their child, and they just keep on fulfilling their demands even before they demand for the same, that is also a bad thing, which leads to codependency of the child in future. And on the other hand, this is also a very wrong indication wherein the parents are not at all involved emotionally. Physically involving in things is a different thing, it's good, but then if the parent is not involved emotionally and does not really care about the child's emotion, does not understand the child's emotion, and does not reciprocate to their child's emotion, that is also something not good, and that is also a sign from where the child becomes codependent in future. So basically there should be a balance of both. The parents need to understand that where should I fulfill my child's demand and when should I do so, and when should I not. And the parent should also understand that where should I emotionally engage myself with the child, where to be protective and supportive of the child, and where not to be. So these two things are something that needs to be balanced out from the parents end very carefully. Only then it can be made, and it can be ensured that the child will engage in healthy relationships in future, or else there are a lot of chances, there are high chances that the person becomes codependent when he or she grows up.
We have established that this is not a good or a healthy pattern in a relationship. But what is a healthy pattern then? Could you just tell us a little about interdependent relationships, how they seem like, so that people know the difference between the two?
Sure. So, firstly, there are few key features of being in an interdependent relationship and a codependent. So, as I told earlier, that in a codependent relationship, there is no mutual respect for each other in the relationship, whereas in interdependent relationship, there is a mutual respect, understanding, boundary setting, personal space in the relationship. So, first is clearly defined and respected boundaries between partners. So, in an interdependent relationship, there's a clear boundary between both the parties or both the partners. Individuality in thoughts, beliefs, and pursuits, but not at the exclusion of your partner. So, definitely, since everyone is individual and having individual traits and unique, so the thoughts, beliefs, etc., will definitely be very unique to each and every person. So it is there in the relationship, but that does not mean that you won't respect the other person's or other partner's thoughts, feelings, etc., and you will demean it. So this is not present in an interdependent relationship. We mutually respect each other's different thoughts and beliefs. Next is recognition of what it means to be a whole person and not just half a couple. So you do not lose yourself. It's like you both are equally investing your efforts into each other, and it's not just one person is continuously doing for the other one, and the other one is not even realizing it, and the one who is continuously doing it is losing his or her self worth, losing himself or herself. So this is not there in an interdependent relationship. A continual effort to practice healthy communication and respect for one another. So there is this one thing which is very crucial in codependent relationship, that there is absence or lack of healthy communication, because one partner who is the codependent one keeps on trying to please the other partner so much that he or she will never communicate his or her real feelings and thoughts. But in interdependent relationship, both the partners equally communicate in a healthy manner, that what they feel good, what they feel bad about each other or the relationship. So this healthy communication and respect is there for each other in a interdependent relationship. Then comes the very important factor, that is a sense of security in your ability to strengthen the relationship or work with the other to face relationship challenge. You won't in an interdependent relationship, you won't ever feel that I'm insecure. You will always feel that I can share and be my own self, and I don't even have to think about it. So there is this sense of security that I can be myself, and the person will understand, the other partner will understand it. and you both work together to strengthen the relationship and face all the challenges. But in a codependent relationship, this will be absent. You'll always be thinking, you will always be having second thoughts before sharing any particular thing with your partner. So this becomes very bounded or very insecure kind of a thing, in which the partner is not able to even share anything with the other person, because he or she knows that the other person might not even acknowledge it. So this is the sense of security that is present in an interdependent relation.
And that really sounds such a secure and such a calm relationship to be in, despite all the roller coaster experiences that you get in a relationship, and which might feel thrilling, but actually they are not in the long run. So tell me something, Ishita. Now the big question: can one convert a codependent relationship pattern into an interdependent one, and if yes, then how?
I think there is always a scope of change in everything, and be it a relationship, there is always a scope of change in a relationship also. So there is definitely a scope of converting a codependent relationship into interdependent relationship, but then definitely it takes a lot of time, effort, and patience to do. So we cannot just expect that I want to convert this codependent relationship into interdependent one in just a span of 1 week. That's it. No, that's definitely not possible, and it's a very long run thing. So starting with how we can change a codependent relationship into interdependent one. So first is, we need to first note ourselves. We need to first just brainstorm our own acts and behaviors which are basically signs of codependency, so that from our end we can understand that where we are going wrong, and where I am doing such things which are basically converting me into a codependent person. Firstly, it's very important to look after our signs and behaviors, so that in future we can stop ourselves from doing that. Next is, thing you must be able to understand your own needs, that what makes you happy and what makes you unhappy and uncomfortable, so that you can stop doing things that make you uncomfortable, plus you can stop the other person from making you uncomfortable or burdened with anything, right? Next come is to start saying no, like to being start being assertive. So where the place from where you start saying a no, or you start becoming assertive, is the point where the other person will understand that I cannot just make my partner do anything. He or she has his own boundaries and limits, and beyond that he or she won't be doing anything for me. So saying a no to things that you are really uncomfortable to is very important. So you should always learn to say no. Now practicing to make your own choice and not letting other people decide for you. So it is very important to decide for yourself that with what all things you are happy and comfortable with, and not just letting the other person take decisions on your behalf. It is very important. Then make a concerted effort to spend more time with friends outside the relationships. We talked that how this is being romanticized, but it is actually not. So when you make one particular person your world, you start ignoring your other relationships and other people who are very closely connected to you. So you need to understand that you need to equally give time to other people, your friends, your family members, and not just the person you are in a relationship with, right? So it is very important to make time and effort for other people as well, and not make that one person your world. Then comes communication. So, communication is the key to everything. We have always heard about this, but we don't really practice this in real life, and that again makes a person codependent on someone. So, it is very important to communicate your likes, dislikes, your feelings, and emotions with other persons, so that the other person is aware about how you feel about different things, what you like and what you don't, so that the other person can also act in that particular way. And if that person is not respecting your boundaries at all, is not respecting your choices at all, then definitely you have other ways or you can always we always know that counseling is something that is very helpful for people. So then there are relationship counselings, marriage counselings, etc., which helps a particular couple or a particular relationship to be formed in a very healthy way. So definitely counseling is something that always guides you and teaches you how you can maintain a healthy relationship with your partner. So these are some things that needs to be followed or maintained so that you can convert a codependent relationship into a interdependent relationship.
That was so amazing, Ishita. And trust me, a couple of points I think that all of us can, irrespective of what kind of relationship that we are in, which we've established in the beginning, that whether it's a friendship or whether it's a romantic relationship or whether it's a relationship with your parents or peers, you can, apply all these tips that you've just shared with us and ensure that, the relationship between us kind of becomes much, much more healthier. So I'm sure our listeners must have enjoyed listening to all of this and would have learned something from it too. So if not much, then at least this much, that instead of saying you complete me, it is best to say that we are such great partners. So on that note, it's time to say goodbye, but we shall meet again with another exciting episode of Top of the Table.